Because Skip, now, today was
Trade deadline day.
exactly
February 6th, or is it 7th? I think it's 7th.
right now. It's the 6th. By the time this goes up to you guys, it'll be the
All right.
7th.
Well, the trade deadline passed a couple hours ago.
Yes, it just happened a while ago. The only teams really to make a splash in the Eastern Conference, like first of all, let's start off with the biggest surprise in the Eastern Conference, the Miami Heat, landing Andre Iguodala,
And immediately signing him to an extension.
$30 million extension. Jay Crowder, Solomon Hill, and who did they give up? They really didn't give up much.
Well, Justice Winslow. Justice Winslow is a guy. He's pretty good.
He can ball. Deion Waiters.
Salary dump.
Yeah, pretty much because they oversigned him for what he's worth.
Well, and also the gummy incident and being stoned at work, and they just wanted to get rid of Deion.
And James Johnson.
Another salary dump.
Also, but for Miami bolstering up Skip. What do you think about that trade as it affects the Raptors?
So I think people are making entirely too much of this trade. This trade was basically the Heat dumping some guys they didn't want and having to give up Winslow for Iguodala, who's like
getting on in his years.
He's pretty old. I mean, he's not really someone that scares me as a Raptors fan. We saw him against the Raptors in the playoffs.
He's going to ball in the playoffs.
We saw him against the Raptors in the playoffs, and he had a couple big moments in that series, but it's not like he was able to flip the series on his own. He's not really an impact star-type player. He's kind of like a guy you bring off the bench who can be a little bit more dangerous than whoever else they're bringing off the bench, as a defender mainly. But, yeah, I'm not really amazingly terrified of the Heat now that they have Iguodala. And Crowder's kind of the same thing. Like, I remember everyone always used to love Crowder, but anytime he was on the Celtics or the Cavs, I would think, man, as the opponent, that's the guy I want taking the shot.
Crowder was the guy they got on the Celtics to stop LeBron.
No, I know he's there for his defense, but when you're on the opposite team from Crowder and you see Crowder taking a three, that's when you're excited. You don't, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's the guy, like, I want the ball in Crowder's hands. He should be, like, he's their fifth option. Like, that's why he doesn't scare me, because I'm way more terrified of the ball on Jimmy Butler's hands or Bam Adebayo's hands.
Oh.
Or even before when he was on the Celtics, like, you'd rather have it in, was he on the Isaiah Celtics or the Kyrie? I think it was the Isaiah Celtics.
Isaiah's.
Yeah. Like, you're way more terrified of Isaiah at that point, not now when he's getting waived. You're way more terrified of all the other guys in the team taking the shot than Crowder. So as a Raptors fan, they got two guys who can play a bit of defense, but don't really scare me in any other sense. And I don't think that really drastically shifts Miami's position compared to the Raptors. I mean, if they were maybe going to play a 7-game series anyway, maybe it's still a 7-game series.
It's not going to be a 7-game series.
Maybe they sneak out one more win, but he's a pretty marginal upgrade, in my opinion.
Okay. So, also...
Actually, hold on. I'm just going to say,
what?
I'm actually interested to see what this trade means for Memphis, because Memphis is in the 8th seed in the Western Conference, and they weren't playing Iggy anyway, so it's basically Crowder and Solomon Hill for some salary flotsam and Justice Winslow, who's hurt. But you kind of wonder, like, can these guys
Waiters, I don't know.
Can these guys actually help Memphis a little bit?
Those guys can actually ball, though, man. You never know what it's like.
Because they'll probably actually get to play.
You heard about what the players have been tweeting, and oh my goodness, when it comes to Memphis, jeez.
Yeah,
with the whole Iguodala thing.
They're cheesed at Iggy for sure. Dylan Brooks, especially.
Goodness.
And
Dylan put it up. Then Steph put up the picture of Iguodala holding the trophy, and then John Morant put up the picture. I love John Morant. He put up a picture of KD holding up the trophy. That was amazing.
Oh,
these guys are getting on like that social media banter.
I thought the funniest thing was that
I'm surprised Kevin Durant's burner account didn't come up on that one.
Yeah, maybe it did. I just thought it was funny that the trade got reported, and then Iguodala got an extension, and immediately Dylan Brooks got an extension. Like, do you think that's coincidence?
No.
He was probably like, Oh, you're gonna sign this guy to an extension?
Yeah, that's why he was like,
I'm actually playing for you.
Get rid of him so I can get an extension.
Yeah.
Sticking in the East, Skip, we have the Atlanta Hawks, who's actually been dibbling and dabbling. There's this massive 4-team trade with 12 players involved, draft picks. We're both still trying to wrap our heads around this. At the end of the day, I still think Atlanta won because they got Clint Capella from the Houston Rockets. They got Nene from the Rockets.
They waived Nene, though.
Yeah, they're going to. Yeah, did they already?
I think so. Or, like, he's not playing for them. He's just...
Yeah, he's going to be, like, 15th on their bench.
Yeah.
He's going to be dressed up in a suit all day. Like your boy.
No, they're actually going to release him. But anyway.
Oh, well, lucky him. He gets to spend time at home.
Yeah.
Also in that trade, Minnesota picked up very many assets. They got Beasley from Denver. They got Hernan Gomez as well. They got Evan Turner. They got Jared Vanderbilt. And they got Brooklyn's 2020 first round pick. Well, from Atlanta, obviously. Apparently what I saw from that whole thing, the timeline, how it shifted, Skip, was that Golden State broke off talks with them for D'Angelo Russell. And at that point, they decided to stockpile some assets. And I think that's why they pulled out the trade, because they got rid of Covington, they got rid of Bell. They've unloaded a few, but...
Was Bell in there? I don't even know where Bell was.
Yeah, Jordan Bell.
I know he's moved around a bunch. I don't even remember where
Jordan Bell was on Minnesota at that point. You got rid of him. They got rid of Napier. They got rid of Von Leigh.
Yeah. We don't need to read off all the names. I think...
We don't need to.
Generally speaking, this trade's a little bit too complex to really comprehend or grade right now, but...
And here's the thing, Skip. The whole reason for this trade was for D'Angelo Russell to go from Golden State to Minnesota for Andrew Wiggins. That was the whole point. Because that draft pick is the one that they got from Atlanta.
No, it's not. It's a different pick.
Yep. Same pick.
No, but it's a different pick.
Same pick.
This is the actual...
Same pick.
Yeah, but this is the actual Golden State pick.
Yeah. Same pick.
Or this is the actual Minnesota pick. This isn't the Brooklyn pick. Or the Atlanta pick.
Yeah, that's why they had to get that. That pick was the one that helped them to get...
I'm just saying it was a different pick they traded.
Andrew Wiggins. Okay, yeah. It's right, but that's the pick. That's the pivotal point.
Right.
For them to make that trade. Because that's what they were going for. They already got rid of Jeff T.
So they got a pick and they traded that pick.
They got rid of Jeff T. They got rid of their...
Okay, yeah.
Got rid of the point guards just so they can get D'Angelo Russell. That's all they were looking for. Congratulations to Minnesota for pulling that off, because that was a hell of a lot of hard work.
I'm actually going to say I don't agree with that. I think those were two separate trades, and it's just kind of... I mean, it is nice that they replaced the pick that they ended up trading away.
Yeah, that's what they had to do.
But just going back to this 4-teamer, it's really complicated. Not really something I'm going to work through, but generally I think Minnesota got assets. Atlanta got Capella, who's kind of an interesting piece to add to their team.
Atlanta won that trade. Because
I think they've been feisty, and having a center, if they can work it with Trey and John Collins and Clint Capella and, whatever wing guys they have coming up, like Kevin Huerter or Cam Reddish, I think, fit in that category. Yep. Those guys can maybe, based on what I've seen in a couple other games with the Raptors, I think they're not that far away from being pretty interesting. There's just kind of something missing. Obviously, Trae Young needs to work on his defense really badly. But
you can still score though.
But with John Collins on that team and Capella on the team, you really wonder what their ceiling is, how they can grow together. They're all pretty young. So yeah, I like it for Atlanta. I think it's weird for Houston. Houston just decided that centers who can't shoot don't matter, basically.
They decided to have a 6'5", rest in peace, PJ Tucker.
Yeah.
6'5" center to guard Rudy Gobert and...
Well, but let's be honest. Capella needed Chris Paul.
Yeah.
Because he's a rim runner. He can't do anything else. So what's he going to do on a team with guys that don't pass him the ball? Like, He's just going to stand
I'm
there.
pretty sure Trae Young will pass him the ball.
That's why I'm talking about Houston, not Atlanta. I think on Atlanta he'll be good. But I think it's interesting that all these centers that don't shoot, I think back to DeAndre Jordan. I never wanted DeAndre Jordan on my team because I want a center who can actually make a freaking 12-footer once in a while. So
instead of just giving him Lob City.
So I think these guys, the Lob City guys are really going down the drain right now. They're really getting undervalued. They're really moving around, as we saw in the Drummond trade.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting for Houston and Atlanta. I have no idea what Denver was doing or what they got out of that trade. That's all going to be
Denver
figured out
didn't
later.
really care. It's actually funny. They played last night with only 7 players on their roster.
Yeah.
Skip, is there any other ones, like maybe the 76ers and Golden State trading Alec Burks and Glenn Robinson III?
Well,
to
so I
Golden
mean,
State?
I think it's probably it's good.
Well,
Good
from
for the
Golden State.
Sixers. They needed to do something, but I mean, I don't know if Alec Burks really scares me in the playoffs. Does he scare you? Like,
Who?
yeah, exactly. Like, it's sort of like what they did last year. They brought in Mike Scott, and Mike Scott hit some threes against the Raptors in the playoffs. But
Who?
he's not a guy that really pushes you over the top. They're still going to need to figure out what's going on with Simmons and Embiid. Those are the only guys that matter on that team.
Yep.
And Horford maybe a little bit.
Horford does.
But yeah,
Horford's a leader in the locker room.
I'm not scared of Alec Burks and Glenn Robinson. And obviously now they're going to go out and hit like 33s and beat the Raptors. But
Hey, Golden State just got 3 draft picks. 2020, 21, and 22.
yeah, but they're second rounders. I mean, yeah, whatever.
Hey, man.
I mean, it's fine.
Even the D'Lo trade, they got another 2 picks.
I just think
That's 5 picks coming up.
I just think about what
That's
happened.
4 picks by in 2021.
Okay,
2020 and 2021.
I just think about what happened last year when the Bucks went out and got Mirotic at the deadline, and they traded a bunch of second rounders for him. And I was scared. Like, I wanted the Raptors to get him. I was scared of Mirotic.
Yeah, you were.
Then they played Mirotic in the playoffs. They literally played him out of the league. The Raptors were so good against Mirotic that he sat on the bench for that the last couple games of that series, and he's not on an NBA team this year. So these guys that come in and like, they might be names, they might be. I'm not scared of Alec Burks. I'll be honest.
Okay, but sticking with the Western Conference, Skip, the Clippers actually made a trade.
Yeah, that's actually a big one. That's not a big one. That's a medium-sized one.
Tell me about that trade.
Well, Mo Harkless for Marcus Morris. I mean, Marcus Morris will help them for sure. I think they could use a guy like that. They could use a 4. They could use a guy who can score. I think everyone's really overrating him at this point, though, because he's supposedly the Knicks star. When we all saw him on the Celtics, he was like a 4th option.
Yeah, but look at the Knicks.
Exactly.
I'm a star.
Exactly. Everyone's a star on the Knicks. He's going to go to LA. He's going to be like basically a bench player. I think he'll probably start, but he's going to be basically like a 5th starter type, bench player type. Obviously, it solidifies him a little bit. The thing is, it's the same thing I just said with Alec Burks, where it's, if you're just getting a guy who's just a guy, he might make you better, but he doesn't really make you leaps and bounds better, the way that Gasol did with the Raptors in terms of just having that next level, that Hall of Fame career.
I think Marcus Morris is actually in between that, where it's like, yeah, or he makes you leaps and bounds better. I think he might be like halfway through that, like something in the playoffs, this guy can actually do something. Something in the crunch time, he can actually do something, right?
Well, I mean, that's the thing on the Clippers. They just need, like, he's their 4th option easily, probably 5th option to be real.
I would probably say like about 5th.
Yeah, 5th option behind
Lou Williams is 6th.
Behind Lou Will and Harrell, I would say are 3 and 4, and then obviously Leonard and George are 1 and 2. So you got Marcus Morris as your 5th option. He's a pretty damn good 5th option.
But the Clippers to give up a 1st round draft pick.
Yeah, but a 1st round draft pick. I mean, Clippers are
depending on where they finish.
The
That'll be
4th
like
best
20.
team in the league. Like,
Hey, look how Golden State used to.
yeah,
draft
I'm not. I don't think their draft pick's gonna really hurt them.
Jerry West is there. Come on, man. Jerry West can.
Yeah, I think that's a really solid pickup for them. But I think at the end of the day, if they were gonna, like, how many teams does it actually make them beat that they weren't going to beat before? It's sort of like if they're going to beat the Lakers 60% of the time, now they beat the Lakers 70% of the time. Maybe that's all that is. Which is important for them because they're trying to win a title. And
A title?
And they might face our Raptors in the playoffs.
So that's exactly what I was going to ask you. Do you think it's going to happen at the end? The Clippers and the Raptors.
I think
That's off the books. I'm throwing all the papers away.
I think it's Clippers and Bucks, but I would love to see Clippers Raptors.
I want
to see Clippers and Raptors in the conference finals for sure. We'll see about the actual finals.
The Clippers and the Raptors in the finals.
No, in the conference finals. I say
they don't play each other. The Clippers and the Raptors.
No, I'm just saying I want to see them both in the final four.
Oh, okay.
And then I think the Bucks. I really don't think the Bucks are going to lose this year. And I think it's going to be Clippers, Lakers, Raptors, Bucks. I could see that easily.
You think the Bucks are going to come out of the East, Skip? Is that what you're telling me?
I'm telling you right now.
Is that what you're telling me?
They're on a Golden State pace right now. So
I'm going to hold you to that, buddy. Yeah. You never know what they might be able to do in
Oh, that's my prediction,
playoffs.
For sure. That's my prediction. They're coming out of the East, in my opinion.
Okay, guys, more importantly, what we have to say is what you have to say. You guys know what to do. Go down there on YouTube, click subscribe, click like, leave us a comment. We'll talk to you. Trust me, we're trying to talk to everybody that's talking to us. We appreciate you guys watching us. We appreciate you guys being loyal to your
Toronto Raptors, champions.
Yeah. So, guys, on behalf of myself and
Skip,
good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night, and
peace.